chance again, and Sunderland have scored.
Hello, how we're getting on? Hope everybody's alright. So we're back again with another video. The match preview of our up and coming game on Friday night at Hillsborough against Sheffield Wednesday. For me, probably the biggest game of the season, and I'll touch on that a little bit later in the video. But first of all, some little bits of news. Some rumours after the game on Saturday that Dennis Certain was apparently arrested for drink driving. Now, again, it's only rumours. I've got no concrete evidence of that. I'm just reporting what I've seen on social media. But if anybody's got any updates on that, is it true? Is it a load of shite? But there was some reports on social media that Dennis Certain had been arrested for drink driving after the game. Also, Jayden Danns. Now, I did see when we signed him, but people disagreed. I did see that would probably never ever see him in a Sunderland shirt because of this injury situation. And lo and behold, rumours coming out yesterday and today that Jayden Danns is out for the season and we'll never ever see him in a Sunderland shirt. Now, for me, that makes it an absolutely pathetic bit of business on Christian Speakman and co's part. We had an opportunity in January to strengthen the side, sitting in a great position, a chance of automatic promotion, and the club have done absolutely nothing to help Regis Lebris. The club's been crying out for players, and we've got Enzo Lafay. Great bit of business that one. I'll not disagree on that one, but he was the only player we brought in. Likes of Burnley and Sheffield United have both strengthened in areas where they needed to strengthen. They're now reaping the benefits of that, and they're starting to pull away from us. And I've got to question the ambition of the ownership now. I like to say one signing in January is not good enough. Desperate for a centre forward, and because we piss farted about all of January, being linked with this one, linked with that one, blah, 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 blah. We did the medical on Jayden Danns. We uncovered the problem where he's back, but because we panicked and there was nobody else available, we've signed him anyway. An absolute joke and an absolute disgrace from Christian Speakman and co. Now, I'm still seeing people defend them on social media, saying, oh, it's football, these things happen. We try to sign these players, blah, blah, blah. It's bollocks. Like I say, we've piss farted about. We've waited until the last minute instead of doing our business early, and now it's come back and bit us on the arse. And now we're in the position where we are. We've lost Enzo Lafay now for 6 to 8 weeks. We've lost Dan Ballard. We're now probably in a weaker position now than what we were at the start of the season. So we're not going to get a better chance in a long, long time to get out of this league. We're going to lose the likes of Job, Chris Rigg, Dan Neil, Tommy Watson, even probably Wilson Isidore. Be Premier League teams and other teams sniffing around them. So, and where we're going to be next season, back to square one, come back with another load of young players through the door, and and build again. This could have been our only chance to get promoted. Now we've still got a chance of the playoffs, but it's a lottery. It really, really is. Now I know I'll probably get slated in the comments, and I know I sound like a broken record, but like I always say, I'll always give me honest opinion on what I see on situations at the club. And this transfer window has been an absolute joke and an absolute disgrace from Sunderland AFC. Now, on to Sheffield Wednesday. That'll be another tough task. We saw last time we came up against a team who got tanked the game before in Plymouth. Smashed 5-0 at home against Burnley. Then they come up here and get a 2-2 draw. Sheffield, they got beat 4-0 at Burnley. Now, even though it looks a really, really bad result on paper, Sheffield Wednesday could have been 2-0 up in that game before Burnley even scored. In my opinion, it was never a 4-0 game. But that's what Burnley are doing to teams. Now, Danny Roll, he'd be looking to put that right. He's a great young manager. He's a manager I said that I would love to have had at the start of the season when we were looking for a new coach at the time. It's his first managerial job. He's 77 games, 31 wins, 17 draws, 29 defeats, got a win percentage of 40%. And I think for him, that's a great record because all of the uncertainty that's been going around with the chairman and, Chancevi and God knows what at the club, to have that kind of win percentage is really, really good and just shows his character and shows how good of a coach he is. Recent form, though, they are on a poor run. They've only won 2 wins in the last 10 and they've lost the last 2 games now. 2 hard games on paper. They lost against Coventry and Burnley. You know, Coventry are flying under Frank Lampard, and Burnley, well, we know where Burnley are, but they do currently sit in 12th place in the league, but they're only 6 points outside the playoffs. Just shows you how tight this championship is, especially from 6th place down now. You know, they've played 34, they've won 12, drew 9, lost 13, scored 46, conceded 54, they're on 45 points. When you think Blackburn are in 6th there, played 34, 15 wins, 6 draws, 13 defeats, and they're on 51 points. So if Sheffield Wednesday can get back to form and put a run together, they're not out of this playoff picture at all by any stretch of the imagination. However, at home, they have struggled, which is really surprising because Hillsborough is notoriously a really hard place to go. It's an old ground. The atmosphere is always really good and really loud. You're close to the pitch. But they have struggled at home this season. They've played 17 games. They've won 5, drew 7, lost 5. They've scored 26, conceded 25. They've took 22 points. And they do sit 4th from bottom in the home form table. Like I say, it is a really, really massive shock. Now, top players as ever for them, Barry Bannon. He seems to have been there for donkey's years, and he seems to have been their top performer for years and all. He is this season, along with Shea Charles, who they've got on loan from Southampton, I believe, and Josh Windass are their top 3 rated players. Now, goals, Josh Windass has got 10 goals this season, a really good return from him this season. Michael Smith, the mag, has got 8, and Barry Bannon's got 4. Assist, Shea Charles has got 5. Anthony Masaba's got 5, and Michael Smith has got 4 as well. Now, I have been looking on social media, and from what I can see, that Barry Bannon could be injured possibly, according to this. He's not due back until mid-March, but obviously he played the weekend. Now, I didn't know if he got injured in that game, and that's why he's out. But Sheffield Wednesday fans, if you're watching, let me know what your state of players with injuries and suspensions, and is Barry Bannon going to be out for Friday night? Because undoubtedly he's the player that makes you tick, and I can see also along with Deshaun Bernard, Masaba, Dominic Iorfa, and Akin Femewo, are these players out? Will you have them back? But let me know in the comments below of what your thoughts are on what your team selection will be and what your tactics will be. They will be smart from the weekend, Matt, no doubt about it, and they will be looking to put that 4-0 defeat right. So again, there is not really the ideal place to begin when you're in a run of form. Now for us, we've lost back-to-back games for the first time this season, and we did look a very, very tired team against Hull at the weekend. Now, to only lose back-to-back games for the first time after 34 games is a massive achievement, and just shows you how far we've come this season. Now, nobody's disputing the fact that we've had a fantastic season and we've overachieved, and all the people who comment and say that, I totally agree with you. But that doesn't just say we should accept now dropping off towards the end of the season. In the last season, we did exactly the last 12, 13 games of the season when we sacked Michael Beale. We dropped off, and this season now, I just hope we don't do the same again. Now, like I say, we look tired against Hull at the weekend, and it's not surprising when you look at this. 9 players have played 30 or more games for us this season. We've only played 34 league games, and 9 of those players have played 30 or more. Dan Neil has only missed 1 game. Luke O'Nien, Trey Hume, Roberts have been involved in 33 of those games. Chris Rigg been involved in 32 games. Now, what does that tell you? That just shows you where we are as a squad when we can't rotate, or Regis Lebris doesn't trust the players that he's got in reserve to rotate the team. And this is what happens now. We'll now look a tired team. Chris Rigg in particular, it's looked miles off the pace for weeks and weeks and weeks, but he's refused to take him out. Now, getting back to that old, saying, is it Speakman instructing Lebris to play him week in, week out? Job at the weekend looked miles off the pace as well. Now, that's because he's on a yellow card probably, and he's frightened to put a tackle in. But that's a staggering stat, I think, that 9 players out of the 11, starting 11 usually, have played more than 30 of the 34 games. No wonder they're all shagged out. So now I think it's a time where Lebris has to make changes at the weekend. If he doesn't, then more questions are going to be asked of him. Anthony Patterson's been under fire for weeks and weeks and weeks. I've already mentioned Chris Rigg, Job, Patrick Roberts, another one who's come under fire in recent games for his lack of productivity and his end product. Now, how do we change it? We've lost Enzo Lafay. We've now lost Dan Ballard for 68 weeks, 2 massive blows. Dan Ballard seems to be made of glass. He's come back in for 2 games and now he's out again for 68. Had a horrendous injury record, in last season and a half. So if we want to keep that 4-2-3-1 formation, do we play, or this is the formation or the team I would play in that formation? I'd have Simon Moore in goal. I'd have a back 4 of Trey Hume, Chris Mepham, Luke O'Neill and Dennis Cerkin. In midfield I'd have Dan Neil and Alan Brown. The 3 further players I'd have Eliza Mayenda coming on the right for Patty Roberts. I'd have Milan Alexic playing as a number 10 and Romain Mundle back in the side on his wide left with Wilson Isidore up front. That's if you want to keep that formation. However, I think we've looked much better in the times, the off chance that we've played with 2 up front. So this will be my team to play Sheffield Wednesday on Friday night. I'd have Simon Moore in goal. I'd have Trey Hume, Chris Mepham, Luke O'Neill and Dennis Cerkin. I'd have a midfield 4 of Patrick Roberts, Dan Neil, Alan Brown, Romain Mundle, with Eliza Mayenda playing just behind Wilson Isidore. I just think Mayenda, it's an absolute crying shame that he's not in the starting lineup, and Labrissa's comments to come out and say that he sees him as a super sub, I think are absolutely staggering, because when he's played he's got pace. He's had a great season when he's played. He's scored goals, he's assist goals as well, and him and Isidore seem to play well together. So to be suddenly left out for no reason is another strange decision. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. What team would you play against Sheffield Wednesday? There'll be loads of people out there I know disagree with Patterson coming up the side. Same with Job, and Rigg. But for me, he's got to make changes. Anthony Patterson is looking miles off it. His confidence is shot. He cost us a goal, possibly 2 goals in the Leeds game. He was to blame for that howler on Saturday against Hull. Surely now it's time to bring him out for a couple of games, take him out the firing line and bring Simon Moore back in. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below about who you would play, what tactics would you play, and what would your formation be. Now, head-to-head at Sheffield Wednesday is a bit of a mixed bag, really. We did win there 3-0 last year. I think Jack Clark and Dan Ballard amongst the goals. We then lost there 2-0 in I think it was the Carabao Cup, when we played a much weakened team. We got beat there 2-0. We drew 1-1 in the game that took us to the League One playoff final. Remember, Roberts getting that last minute equaliser down there 1-1, which took us on there on aggregate. We then lost 3-0 earlier in that season to Sheffield Wednesday when they absolutely battered us. And then we drew 1-1 down there in 2017 with George Honeyman getting the goal. So, like I say, a bit of a mixed bag. But if we can put on that performance that we did last year, a 3-0 win will be more than welcome. But I'm not confident going down there at all. Like I say, we've lost back-to-back games. If we then lose there and get beat at Coventry, it'll be 4 defeats on the bounce. And, the season could be in disarray then. If we freshen the team up, then, we might have a chance of getting a result. But I just feel that he won't. I think we've got the 2 enforced changes in Ballard and Lafay. Mepham will come in, probably Mundle will come in, and it'll probably still be Rigg and Job in the midfield, if I'm honest. So based on that, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go for Sheffield Wednesday 2, Sunderland 2. We don't look like keeping clean sheets at the minute. If we can stick our chances away, we might get a draw, but that's what I'm going to go for. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Sunderland 2. So get your score predictions in the comments below to get on this leaderboard for the shirt competition. Now, nobody surprisingly predicted a defeat against Hull, so it's kind of as we were in the shirt competition, with John Ruddock leading the way on 49 points. Then got Peter Smith, Ray Knight, Mel Lacey, Kenneth Allen, Tim the Minion, Chris Carter-Jackson, Alex Dixon, Stuart Mack, John T, Gary Hoyle, D Hall and Brian Greener as the top 10. But get your comments get your score predictions in the comments below. Now, other games at the weekend: Blackburn host Norwich, Leeds host West Brom. Leeds last night, absolutely fantastic again. That's 2 games in a row. They've come from behind, did it against us, did it against Sheffield United, and for me, they're going to run away with the league now. If they can beat West Brom and all at home on Saturday, I think that's pretty much them done and dusted. And Sheffield United go to QPR now. For us, if we've got any outside chance of getting these automatics, Then QPR have got to beat Sheffield United. You know, QPR are on a decent run under Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield United will be looking to bounce back from that defeat against Leeds. But it's not an easy place to go, QPR, so I'm hoping they can do us a favour. But like I say, in all honesty, I do think the top two are gone. Very, very slim chance, you know, only if the top team slip up and we somehow put on a massive run to the end of the season. You know, like the league table looks like this. You know, Leeds and Sheffield United now. Leeds played 34 and 75 points. Sheffield United played 34 and 70 points. Burnley played 34 and 68 points. Also on 34, 62 points. West Brom 34, 51 and Blackburn 34, 51. And like I said in the review of the whole game, we're now looking down in my eyes and not up. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we can go down to Sheffield on Friday night and get a massive result. I think Burnley go to Cardiff in midweek because they're in the FA Cup action during the week. So if we can somehow beat Sheffield United, if we can somehow beat Sheffield Wednesday, we'll go 3 points behind Burnley and 5 points behind Sheffield. But we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. The next 5 games for all the teams is looking like this. You know, Burnley, so they've got Cardiff and they've got Luton and West Brom at home, Swansea and Bristol City. Sheffield United have got QPR away. They've then got 2 home games against Preston and Bristol City. Then Sheffield Wednesday away and Coventry at home. Leeds, you know, I'm not really going to touch too much on them, but they're probably away and gone. If they can beat West Brom at the weekend, then got Portsmouth away, Millwall at home, QPR and Swansea. Probably games you'd expect them to win all of them. But, you know, football's a strange thing. Anything can happen, but I just think Leeds are too strong and they're going to win the league. And I think it's probably between Sheffield United and Burnley for second place. Now, like I mentioned last week, 2 new members taking us to 11. So Malcolm Hobkirk and Jeff Woods, thank you very much for becoming members of the channel. Greatly appreciated. You join the other 9 whose names are on the bottom of the screen and will be at the end of the video. It's 99p a month and all the money gets ploughed back into the channel to help with the costs of the software to put the videos together. Greatly appreciated and really, really nice to see you supporting the channel. But please do like, share and subscribe if you don't mind. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. Hit that black button underneath here if you're a new or a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet. We're currently on 3,677 on our road to 4,000. Massive achievement. We've had a really, really great few weeks. The reaction and views to the Leeds video and the whole video has been fantastic. You'll have seen I put a post out earlier on in the week, just hit 500,000 views on the channel. Absolutely fantastic and could not thank anybody enough. But watch out for the match review coming out of the game from Hillsborough, probably Friday night or Saturday morning. And like I say, thanks for watching. As I always say, take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Ta-ra.